Not too long ago, I did a video called The Usual Bootlicks. Yeah, I'll leave the description up here somewhere. In which I pointed out the disdain that certain, let's say, members of the black community had against black people, yeah? But then I thought, it wouldn't be fair for me to leave out the other sets of people that also have this same disdain. You know, your patriots and that. So I thought, just to balance things out, boom.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
You'd be surprised at how many black people don't know who this person is. Or this person. Or this person. Or this person. Now, they know of Tommy Robinson because of his antics and his, his social media presence. And obviously they know of Boris Johnson because Boris Johnson is the Prime Minister, of course. And a few others. But on the whole, outside of those who are, let's say, in the high up in the social media standings, right, a lot of black people don't know who these people are. And therefore, they don't know who these people are, in which I would call the white whisperers. Yeah, these are your social media types that have their own little groups. You know, the parlor groupers, those who are the influencers on them kind of sets. Why do I consider these people to be a problem for the black community? Right, here in the UK especially. And one of the reasons is because they are of the ilk, or they have the mindset in which black people, or they still, let's say, let me correct myself there, they still harbour this kind of mindset that black people in this country are what I would say tolerated.
Why do you need to be tolerant to accept that there are people around you?
Because there was a time when people weren't tolerant, and the reason that, yes, but that's what I'm getting at. That's not now.
All right, Carol.
Broadly speaking, a tolerant, open society.
They tolerate us being here, but behind closed doors, if all black people left tomorrow, they'd be like having a party. But the only reason why they don't say so is because they don't want to be seen, or should I say, being seen that way has certain consequences within the social structure of the country anyway.
People clearly don't want to be judged as being racist. People are clearly scared of saying what they really think when it comes to issues of race, demographics, ethnicity, and multiculturalism. And I think that if it was a completely anonymous survey, and they didn't have to look people in the eye when they were speaking to them.
I'm not racist, but...
Secondly, and more importantly, these are what I would call, like I said, the white whisperers.
Look, what I'm talking about here is freedom. I'm talking about the preservation of a certain way of life. A way of life that you and I both grew up with. There's nothing wrong with that.
These are ones who have influence, let's say, over the white group in general. You know what I mean? And what they do is they persuade the non-partial white people into following into their rhetoric.
White people, people that look like you, will be a minority by 2060 according to the data that we've been presented.
In that, what you'll find is that they put together what I would call logical fallacies.
It was also revealed in the 2011 census that the white British are a minority, so less than 50% of the population, in our capital city, London, and also in Leicester, Luton and Slough. So why is this happening? Why are we becoming a smaller and smaller percentage of the population?
In which they can convince the white people that were not racist at all, or not racist, I don't know, but they will convince them that their opinion or their perspective is the right one.
And I think that has very much to do with the way inequality is working and the way in which certain interest groups are manipulating people's views.
But I wanted to kind of like interject here and say that I hear this from a lot of black people, that why should I care? Or not why should I care, but I'm not bothered what people say about me.
I don't give up.
And it doesn't affect me, and I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet and I'm going to do what I need to do regardless of what they say and what they think, right? And in principle, I would argue that yes, you're right. That's the correct attitude to have. But at the same time, yeah, on an individual case, that works. But when you're talking about the group, or white people as a group, it doesn't. It kind of like falls, or it doesn't kind of hold water. ignoring someone on a personal one-to-one basis, or someone said something behind your back and you heard about it, yeah, you can quite easily ignore that. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to affect you in any way. You, and you. However, if he and the person that said something bad about you groups up with 10 other people and groups up with another 10 other people, and they all have the same opinion about you, and he starts to promote this negative aspect about you, then it does become a problem, because now all of those people have the same attitude towards you, in which that will affect you.
But there is a substantial proportion who have elements who might possibly be mobilised towards a more racist view if the circumstances allow it.
Bear with me, yeah? Let's say they brought in a policy that was deemed very anti-black, right? Now, every single black person in this country voted against it, right? But all of the patriots voted for it. That number of patriots that voted for it in this country, even though they are the minority in the white group, still outnumber all of the black people in this country. So therefore, black people are left with the, like I call them, or like I said, I don't want to call them, label them, but like I said, they're non-partial. These are the other 92% of white people that aren't racist to weigh in here.
We think it's all to do with fractures within more privileged groups. And really we need to understand what's happening at the top of the society if we're to understand how these politics are being shaped up.
What you'll find is that most white people will kind of...
I was naive to think that this was just an American issue.
It's been painful and emotionally exhausting seeing the multitude of people that are shocked or just waking up to the fact that life is harder for a black person in the UK.
Because a lot of people, white people, still feel that as soon as a black person talks about race...
And where I struggle a little bit is I feel like I'm constantly having stuff pushed onto me that makes me consider racism in places that I never even saw it.
And that's not the case, right? But I'm kind of like digressing here. But like I said, for the 92% of white people that are impartial, what you'll find is that they'll take a step back, or they don't want to get involved, or they'll listen to the arguments and they're like, I don't know, and you know what I mean? And because of that now, that 8% that are actively racist, or you know what I mean, the patriot groups, right, they will still have the upper hand.
But you're trying to get to the heart of why there is this sort of feeling amongst some white working class it's not all. Men
the thing what I didn't
who feel like their voices have not been heard in a liberal, multicultural society.
They're being leveraged, really.
So, like I said, for me, when black people say about, oh, I don't care, and you know, I don't care what they think, and I'm going to do whatever, blah, 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 you can't just put it down to, you know, a racist person can't affect me, because they can do. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones who are closer in position to the person of power than you are. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to expose some of the patriot groups out there that black people are not aware of, and how they do have some influence and some aspect of how we are seen in this country. Because like I said, I mean, you only have to look at the deportation rulings that are being coming in now, where as a black person you only have to be considered to be West Indian, or you know, your parents are immigrants, therefore you are. And I did that in my video, my last video, and you can check that out. I'll put the link up here somewhere as well. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, yeah, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.